Welcome back to Almost Machining. We're going to start by wrapping some of this up. We've got another piece of steel here. We're going to make some saw cuts. Try to build up a platform on which to put a table. Then we'll work on the table, attach the table, and get to grinding. So I have the bottom bracket piece for the riser in place, magnets holding the pieces in, these two little brackets to butt it up against the slide, and we're going to tack weld and then weld these pieces together. Yeah. Let's get these tacked and welded into place. Nice. I have rough cut out the shape in the table, and its general position is going to be about here, which will allow me to pivot down and up. And now I'm going to start to find out what my center height is from the top of this base rail up to the top of the screw, and then half of the screw. So let's measure the screw first. .456 divided by 2 is going to get us what, 228, something like that. .228. Yeah. So 228 is where we'll come back down from. We'll use an offset. I have this height gauge. Leave that 0. Two. So 6.235 minus 0.226 is 6.009 inches. Six. It looks to be about spot on right there. That gives us about, let's say if we put the top of the table right around 6 inches, we'll be in decent shape. Let's take a quick look. These barely get to 6 inches. 6.007. Puts me looking directly into the center of the center hole. So I feel comfortable with that measurement. And I'll have essentially an angle block or an angled piece that will allow this to come down to 45, and then we'll go also negative and work out the rest of the fabrication as to how this is going to be set up. This is going to allow me to get the tool bits right up against the wheel. Carry on. Okay, so I got these two pieces cut with a good angle on there for clearance. This will attach to the rail, slide up against the wheel. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these two pieces, weld them together so that I work with them as a pair. And then when I'm completely finished machining them, I'll cut the weld off and put them in their individual spots. Part of the way to help do your work when you're fabricating something is to put all your pieces together so that when you drill one hole that's supposed to line up with all the pieces, you can do it in one shot. I'm hoping this works out. So we've got this thing all together. The tabletop's been ground. We've got a 4 or 600 grit wheel on here. I've got a carbide scraper blank. I'm going to turn it on for the first time. Little WD-40. I tried grinding this before with some green wheel. Just wasn't having the luck. It didn't feel anything like this. That's nice. I do need to hone the top and the bottom of this insert. It's had some problems. The edge is rolled. It's got a lot to take off of there. It's nice being able to let the fence get right up against the wheel. Yeah, you can see where it had been previously mucked about. work out nicely. Let's get this table moved out of the way. Just went ahead and put the blade into my bar. Piece of cast iron's elsewhere right now. Got some old scrape marks from when I was trying this with a just high-speed steel bit. Most of the time it's really hard to scrape steel. This is going to work really well on cast iron. I've got to work to understand how to do this correctly. But thanks for sticking with us as we put this guy back together. I know that the angle adjustment isn't the most beautiful thing in the world, but everything does work as intended. If I loosen this up, loosen up the other bracket screws, I should be able to pull this out. Got them all. It just pulls out. This one slides in and out. I can change the angle. Come right up to the wheel, tighten it back down. Get this out of the way, change the wheels, put another type of wheel on here. I have different diamond discs to use for different materials, or different sizes and different grits. I am really pleased with how this has turned out. See if we can. Yeah, the whole piece will come all the way out. The back side. These are I put silicon bronze onto the screw thread inside of here, turned it down to make a bushing, so these, and then made it so that the nut stops, bottoms out before it squeezes these together, so I can have a nice smooth adjustment on it without having to constantly loosen those up. And this I just flame cut. Used a torch to flame cut this track the best I could, and the radius is off a little bit, so the bolt will slide up and down in a slot, and that works wonderfully for what we need. Anyway, I appreciate you sticking around for this entire series. Thank you very much.